Hey everybody, and welcome to Northernlion's Misadventures in Arena in Hearthstone. I'm not actually sure if that is what I'm going to title the series, but for now that serves as an anchored representation of what the series is probably going to be about. Lots of people on YouTube already doing some really excellent high-level analysis or mid-level analysis of Blizzard's upcoming free-to-play collectible card game, Hearthstone, which I am lucky enough to be in the beta. I understand that not everyone is, and I apologize for that. I don't have anything to do with it, but YouTuber by the name of Arumba07, who you may know for his excellent Crusader Kings coverage, was nice enough to give me an extra code that he had. So I'm finally in, and with all of that high-level content existing on YouTube, and because I am bad, I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have a series where hopefully I go from being absolute dogshit terrible at the game to actually, learning something as I go, talking out loud about how I make my decisions, and eventually becoming, hopefully, at least a little bit better, not the worst player in the world. So we are going to jump into the arena of Hearthstone, and just to quickly kind of summarize what this is all about. If you play is free, basically. You can play against an evenly matched opponent, you can play against AI opponents, and this doesn't cost you anything. Practice is against AI opponents, actually. This doesn't cost anything. The arena is like the gladiatorial combat, and it does cost you money to enter. It's $1.99 to enter. In the beta period, all of this money will be refunded in the form of in-game gold when the game actually comes out, so it's kind of like buy one arena entry, get one free eventually. You can also buy with in-game gold, but that takes a while to earn, I should say. And when you do this, so you buy in, and essentially you can continue playing in the arena for up to 9 wins, but as soon as you lose 3 games, you're out. So 9 wins is the maximum. 9 games, I guess, is technically the maximum then. But if you go 0-3, if you win 0, lose 3, you're out. If you win 2, lose 3, you're out, etc., etc. And you always get some kind of payout in the form of items after you fail in the arena. This is my second time going into the arena. The first one that they give you is free. But this one, I'm hoping to do a little bit better because I didn't win any on my first arena. I went 0-3, didn't even come close. So what's cool about the arena is that there is a fairly robust deck building play or deck building mode in Hearthstone, sorry, I always say Hearth because, that's what the word looks like to me, but in Hearthstone, but Arena totally eschews this and forces you to build a deck on the fly, which means that every Arena session that you do is going to be different. Now, this, again, is the deck that will last us until we lose 3 times, which we might do straight away. So I have no idea how long this video is going to be. We can play as any class of these 3, so the other thing about Arena is that it forces you to play as different classes, which have vastly different class-specific cards. We could play as Malfurion Stormrage, the Druid, Valera Sanguinar, the Rogue, or Jaina Proudmoore, the Mage. I'm going to play as the Mage because it's a character that I have some affiliation with, that I've done a lot of play with. And there will be a proper Let's Look At of Hearthstone coming. Hearthstone, oh my god, what is wrong with my brain, coming. And, you'll learn more about the fundamentals of the game there. But if you've ever played a game like Magic, if you've ever played a game like Scrolls, if you've watched any Hearthstone coverage on YouTube, you'll be pretty familiar with what's going on right away. So just quickly, bottom left, attack, bottom right, health, top left, mana cost. So we're going to figure out what we're going to do here. There's 3 kinds of cards. There are equipment, which we can't really use, minions, which all of these are, basically beasts you can play, and spells, which are not beasts. They're like one-time use, buffs, debuffs, or damage, etc., etc. Okay, so what do we want here? Battle Cry means that they use that effect as soon as they come into the battle. His Battle Cries deal 4 damage to himself. At the end of this turn, deal 1 damage to this minion and summon a 1/1 imp, or give all other Murlocs 2 health. So I'm going to go with Imp Master. Actually, no, I'm going to go with Injured Blade Master. And, we're going to have to pick 30 cards, so I'm going to start going a little bit faster. But suffice to say, I'm going to try to pick a decent curve of mana, maybe having it peak somewhere around like 3, 4, or 5 mana, because this will allow me to constantly ensure that I have some cards that I am capable of playing. So I'm just getting a lot of beasts right now. Sure, let's get a Harvest Golem. Harvest Moon recently came out. Why not get a 4 mana card? And we're going to go fairly quickly here because, again, I don't necessarily know exactly what I'm doing in Hearthstone, so it's possible that I'm going to make some enormous mistakes here. And if so, that's good. I'm looking forward to reading the comments and hopefully figuring out what I've done wrong and what I can do better. So I should probably stop taking... Oh my god, that one card is 20 mana? How do you even play it? Oh, costs 1 less for each damage your hero has taken. So you start with 30 health. If we've taken 10 damage, that'll only cost 10 mana. It'll actually be playable. Shit, that could be a really interesting card. I also love deal 10 damage. That sounds amazing. Or Battle Cry, choose a minion and become a copy of it. I'm going to try this Molten Giant card just because that would be hilarious if it actually works. I am going to take some spells now. Polymorph allows us to transform a minion on the enemy team into a 1/1 sheep, so it has 1 health, 1 damage. I do like having taunt characters, but return a friendly minion from the battlefield into your hand, sure. We could probably use some more 3 and 4 mana cards. Battlecry is silence a minion. Silence is apparently really powerful right now. Let's take a charge character, which means they don't have to wait before they don't get summoning sickness, essentially. Hopefully you understand what that means. Adjacent minions have +1 attack. That seems pretty useful. When an opponent plays a minion, summon a copy of it. That could be interesting. I'm trying to figure out if I need more spells or if I'm actually pretty good with respect to that. Why don't we get a Fireball? This is a card that I will use a lot to do some burst damage. We'll pick up a couple of those. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. I kind of like it. We still have 11 cards left to go, so this might take a little while here. Let's get another... We already have 1 secret, so let's get the Ethereal Arcanist. Man, I have way too many 4-mana cards, probably. I'm going to take Raid Leader, which buffs all your enemies. I really want to let's get some 5 and 6 mana cards, because I don't have any of those yet. Young Priestess. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1 health. If that actually survives, that's awesome. Knife Juggler is pretty awesome as well. After you summon a minion, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. We'll go with that one instead. I have no real overarching strategy with how to build this deck. Wind Fury means it gets to attack twice in each turn, but I don't necessarily want to go with that. We have so many... I think I might have, like, royally effed up my deck composition here, but maybe that's not so bad. Maybe, yeah, cards that allow me to draw more cards might be useful in this situation. Another Polymorph card might not be so bad. There we go. We've got a 6-mana card and 1 more card coming, and it's guaranteed to be a 2-mana card here. After you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. That seems scary. All minions cost 1 more. That seems scary. The first minion you play each turn costs 2 mana less. That seems really useful. Okay, so now we have our deck. This might be absolutely terrible. Obviously a huge gamble on that, like, 20 mana golem. And then we're going to get started here. So this is our key. This will unlock the treasure when we bow out of the arena, which could happen in anywhere from 3 to 9 games. Every time we get a loss, there will be a check mark here. Every time you get a win, this number will count up. Let's get started. So we're going to play, and it should find us a worthy opponent. Lots of people in the beta, but not nearly as many people in the beta as want to get in the beta. So, you know, I'll put a link in the video description below where you can sign up. Apparently, open beta is coming reasonably soon. I don't have any giveaway copies. I don't control Blizzard's PR strategy and how they're distributing copies. So if you're asking in the comments for one, you're probably going to fall on deaf ears. People are selling access to this game for, like, hundreds of dollars, supposedly. So, it's going to be me against Rolt here, and we will see how this works. There's going to be a coin flip to start. If you go first, nothing happens. You just go first. If you go second, you get the opportunity to take an extra card here. So, we got Injured Blade Master. And we're also going to get a card called the Coin, which allows us to get +1 mana for 1 turn only. So we can replace any of these cards if we want, but honestly, 2, 2, 3, 4 from a mana cost perspective, in my opinion, is pretty good. It's going to give us a lot of cards that we can play right off the bat. Now, he is playing as the Paladin, and what the Paladin is it's got a different hero power. It allows him to summon a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit for 2 mana. He only has 1 right now. Again, very, very fundamentals, basic fundamentals if you're not familiar with Hearthstone. You gain 1 mana per turn, 1 max mana, and all of your active mana refreshes at the end of every turn. Each hero has 30 health. When they get down to 0, the game's over. Each hero has a hero power. In this case, ours is deal 1 damage, and it costs us 2 mana. So for right now, we can't really do anything on this turn. I'm just trying to think. If we actually do our Mana Crystal, which gives us 2 mana, then we can summon the Pint-Sized Summoner, and then next turn we should be able to summon this Dire Wolf Alpha for free. Actually, we could also summon the Injured Blade. In fact, we could summon basically anything we wanted for free, which is kind of amazing. Assuming that this card lives until the next turn. So I was reading some stuff on Hearthstone Online, and, you know, a lot of debate is raging right now about the coin flip in the game, you know? Is it better to go first? Is it better to go second? And as of right now, in the Master League, there is a, like a 51% edge for the, let me think about this for a second. A 51% edge for the coin flip winner. So obviously if I lose, that's what I'm going to blame it on right now. So all adjacent minions have +1 attack. He's got a secret card, so I don't know what this does. It could counter this minion that I'm pulling out here for 0 mana. We'll see. It appears not. Oh, no, it totally did. Okay. What does it do? When your opponent plays a minion, reduce his health to 1. that doesn't really bother me all that much, honestly. So now that we know that that's out, we can now use our unit to do 3 damage to him, and we can actually, since we have 2 more mana, we can use our hero power to do 1 more damage to him. So I would say we're doing pretty well so far, but obviously if you looked at the amount of mana that my cards cost, probably going to be a deck that is going to excel in the early game, but if it goes past, you know, like turn 7 or 8, I'm going to start having some problems, although those Fireball cards will hopefully help me out as well. So he just summoned a minion with Taunt. Essentially the way that Taunt works is that you have to attack this hero before, or this minion before any other minions, or before attacking the hero themselves. So we need to make sure that he dies, essentially, before we can do anything else about it. Now we can summon some more units here, which I think is a smart idea, because I really don't want to lose my pint-sized summoner right now, but because it makes it easier to summon creatures. So I should be able to summon anything that costs up to 4. Let's do a Battle Cry and draw a card, and then we'll only have 1 mana left, which is unfortunate because I can't really do anything with it, but it does give us another low mana card that I can use. And I could, like, sacrifice this creature, the pint-sized summoner, in order to kill this guy. Is every time he takes damage, enrage basically means whenever he's not at full health, he does +3 damage, which is a little scary. But I'm going to leave it up to him, essentially. If he wants to kill the pint-sized summoner, that's his loss. It's going to go on his turn. But I want to keep it alive so that it can... Oh, man, that is going to be a scary creature now. He has made a smart decision here, I would say. But let's see if we can do something with it. If you control a secret at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2. That's a really interesting card that I can't really do anything about right now. So, with 4 mana, what I would do is probably transform this guy into a sheep. That's going to make him a 1/1 minion, which is going to allow me to just do a bunch of damage to the hero right here, and there's not much else I can do. He said well played, so I'm going to say thank you. There's a very rudimentary chat system in the game right now. He's going to destroy my wolf, which is probably a smart idea, because his sheep is probably less useful than the wolf, so I would say fair trade. And I still feel pretty good about the way the situation is going. You know, destroy any minion damaged by this minion. That's scary. Now, this leper gnome that he summoned has a death rattle, which means that when it dies, it will do that effect. And the effect in this case is deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. So as soon as we kill it, it'll do 2 damage to the enemy hero. We may want to think about how to destroy this creature before it does anything crazy. But let's see. Battlecry, deal 4 damage to himself. Kind of weird. We can play a 3 and a 2 hero, or a 3 and a 2 minion on this one, which is what I'm intending to do. So, why don't we do, although we could do some funky stuff here to, okay, here's what I'm thinking then. Instead, why don't we do this, just to make sure that he can't actually destroy any of my minions without doing anything himself. I forgot that that was going to kill my own minion, but that's okay. We still have 3 left, so I'm going to summon a Harvest Golem. And the way that the Harvest Golem will work, if it has a death rattle where if it is killed, it will summon a 2/1 damage golem. Cool by me. So yeah, we got an interesting game going on here. I still feel like I'm in an okay position. But as time goes on, I'm guessing his deck is probably going to get a little bit stronger than mine. He just played a minion that gets +1/+1 whenever a card is played. That is a scary effect. He is going to damage me, which is not necessarily a dumb idea. I really like this card that I just picked up, by the way. This is a card that allows me to deal 3 missiles, or shoot 3 missiles that do 1 random damage each. What is this? Whenever you cast a spell, gain +2 attack this turn. Scary. So I can play a 4 and a 2, 2 3s, or a 1 and a 5, which is probably how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to play this 1, and we'll see what what minions this attacks randomly. I kind of am not super pleased with the way that went down, but that's okay. And then I will play my 5, and the battle cry here is that it does 3 damage to the enemy hero. So that'll do some damage, and I'll say thank you because he said well played. And then I might as well knock this character out because, you know, he gets buffed every time a card is played, which is crazy. And we'll get this golem himself, but he can't attack the turn that he is summoned, so that's okay. Again, interesting game so far. I'm sorry that I can't really provide any high-level strategical analysis. All I can really do, all I can really offer is, you know, think out loud, and, you know, hopefully by thinking out loud, I'm helping you out just a little bit in your understanding of what's going on here. But again, this is very much a series where I'm going to try to, you know, figure things out as I go, and probably lose a lot of my money. But, well, not a lot, I guess, considering it's $1.99 to enter the arena every single time. But that'll add up over the course of, you know, a lifetime playing this game, or your life, not your actual lifetime. Hopefully you understand what I mean by that. So let's think about this. We have a fireball card which can do 6 damage. We have a taunt character here, which is scary because I have to take care of it, basically. Is there any way that I could kill it and then do 6 damage? But I would love to save this fireball card just to damage the enemy. But on the next turn, like, I really want to take care of this mana addict. So I think using the fireball card to take care of him is probably in my best interest. So we'll do that and get that character out there, because he seems like he can just kind of spiral out of control. I will kill the taunted bear, which means that he will go down. And I'll use my golem to attack him, which is going to do a little bit more damage. He did a ton of damage to me, obviously, on that last turn. And why don't we summon as well the injured Blade Master, so he's going to deal 4 damage to himself when he spawns, but at least we have another creature on the board. So my saving grace right now is that this guy only has 2 cards in his hand. Now, he can still do some stuff with that, with 8 mana, so he's going to destroy himself, and that'll do 2 damage to me. And he summoned a Harvest Golem, but there's no taunts, so I should be able to do some damage to him next turn. And he used his hero power to summon another 1/1 Silverhand Recruit, and now it's my turn. Okay, so we have some interesting stuff that we can do here. If you control a secret at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2. We still do not. Return a friendly minion from the battlefield to your hand. This is something I would have loved to have done with the minion I summoned that did damage to him right off the bat. But since there's no other minions I really want to pull out right now, no minions with Battle Cry, essentially, I think I'm going to summon this one, which is going to allow me to freeze a character. And I'm going to freeze the more high damage character right now, which means he won't be able to attack next turn. I'm going to summon the Fairy Dragon, which again, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, so it has to be attacked directly, which I'm excited about because it's going to mean that he's going to have a harder time killing it, at least immediately on the next turn. And now he's in the danger zone because if he doesn't kill any of my minions, I could potentially kill him on the next turn. Now, this is a game where once we get close to the end of the game, things are going to move very, very quickly, so I am a little bit concerned that he'll have like one major card that he can use. I wouldn't have expected that Silverhand Recruit. That doesn't seem like that's going to make that big of a deal. And I can still, like, really F him up. He has 7 mana and 2 cards. I'm assuming that if he has anything that he can play, he's going to do it right now, because otherwise, Oh, he conceded! Wow! I actually, won a game of Arena, which is kind of surprising to me. So after you play a game, you know, you do level up, and this level is tied to the class of the deck that you played. It is not necessarily tied to you individually. Like, if I played a mage and then a rogue, I wouldn't get the same experience. Like, the same experience wouldn't apply to each. So we'll click through, and we did get a victory there, which is awesome. And we have a quest for today: win 3 games with any class, which we succeeded on. Okay, so liking this deck so far. Again, I have to mention that you do stick with the same deck through all of your arena play, and we have 1 win. So why don't we do at least one more game of Hearthstone over the course of this video. I'm excited to start the series off with a bang. That was my first win. I'm sure I probably made some enormous misplays. But it wasn't my first win in Hearthstone overall, but it's my first win. Okay, we're against a paladin again. It's a different guy, though. It's my first win in Arena, which is nice. Okay, so this time we go first. And it's a little scary because we don't have any cards that we can play right away, and we have a deck we want to get started with quickly. So I'm going to replace my Ethereal Arcanist card with hopefully a lower mana card. Sure, that's good. We'll be able to use the Fairy Dragon eventually, and we'll draw a card to start our turn as well. Maybe it'll be a 1 mana card. We do have a few of those. Nope. So we're just going to have to end our turn. Kind of an unfortunate hand to start with, I guess, but starting on the next turn, we'll be able to make some stuff happen. He could use his coin card and maybe summon a minion, or use his hero power to summon a Silverhand Recruit. We'll see. Light's Justice. Okay, so this is something I haven't talked about yet. He has basically given himself an equipment card, which allows him to actually attack. Equipment cards have durability, so he only has a few more attacks left with that. And each one will do 1 damage. So it's not super major, but it is a little bit scary. And, you know, there are cards, debuffs, that I can basically place on his weapon, but I don't think I put any of those in my deck. On my turn, I had 2 mana, so I summoned my 2 mana creature. It's a Fairy Dragon, and it can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Not that his hero power can target it anyway. And next turn, I will probably play the Raid Leader, which gives other minions +1 attack. And my Fairy Dragon will be able to do a little bit more damage. We will see what he's up to. Should say hello. It's always nice to have good manners when you're playing Hearthstone. Community so far has honestly seemed really, really nice. I thought he was going to attack the creature, actually, but that's fine. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions is a great card. It will destroy his existing minion, but I don't want to do that right now. Because there's really no point to it. I might as well save it until there's at least some more minions on the field. So I played my Raid Leader. Raid Leader has a buff that other minions have +1 attack, and then he's a creature in and of himself, so, you know, you gotta prioritize. Do I want to take out the Fairy Dragon, which has higher damage, or do I want to take out the Raid Leader, which has a buff that will apply to all of my creatures that I will summon, you know, maybe as soon as the next turn? None of them have charge, though, so we should be okay. We'll see. Anyway, I like the way that this is starting. Battle cries deal 1 damage, which means the Silver Hand Recruit will be able to destroy my fairy, and there we go. He'll do some more damage to me, but his weapon is almost done. What I'm worried about is that, you know, when I go first, I really want to dictate the course of action. Like, I want to be... This is deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it. I'm trying to think about how I want to deal with this. Because I could fairly easily... I can't do anything with it. I want to keep my Raid Leader alive, but it's foolhardy to think that he's going to live much longer anyway. If he wants to spend his Ironforge Rifleman attacking my Raid Leader without ever doing damage to me directly with this minion, that's up to him, I guess. Instead, I'm going to summon a Water Elemental. Water Elemental Morphling, I guess, from Dota. A really nice item, or a really nice minion, because it freezes any character that it damages. So even if someone attacks him, if it doesn't kill him, even if it does, I think, it'll freeze the enemy, but also when he attacks, it'll freeze the enemy that he attacks as well. So we'll just use our Raid Leader to do some more damage. We've got some more minions that we can continue to summon. We've got a nice mix of spells. Actually, we probably are a little bit too spell heavy right now. But I'm pleased with how this is going so far. And, you know, I have no designs that we're going to do one entire arena playthrough per video. That would just be nuts. I'm going to try to keep the episodes probably around 3 matches. This one's going to be a little shorter because I had the deck drafting in it as well. But I don't want to have like an hour-and-a-half long episodes of Hearthstone. A lot of people are into that, and that's totally cool. But I'd like to split it up a little bit more, take a break, drink some water, because otherwise my brain is going to be totally shattered. In any case, we'll wait for him to have his turn. I'm liking this deck so far. You know, I'm not very good at surviving when I play with custom decks that are a little bit more focused on the late game. I don't do very well. By the way, all sorts of sweet environmental effects that we can do here. Like, I can break those windows, as you can see. That'll be really annoying, by the way, if I keep doing it, but eventually they'll break. What's he doing here? Okay, so he's summoned a Berserker, which is super annoying. Anytime it takes damage, it's going to get +3 attack. So we want to make sure that, if possible, we wipe that out all at once. We have 5 mana now. So the way that we could deal with this, you know, one of the things that is kind of cool to do if you have the Gurubashi Berserker is damage it yourself and then use it to attack, because it'll obviously do 5 damage in that situation, which is really nice. But anyway, we have 5 mana, so we could do a 3 and a 2. That's basically it. Or we can do a 4. And you know what? I am actually going to do a 4 in this situation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do... Or we could do a 3 to freeze a character, and then our hero power. But I'm going to use Fireball to do 6 damage to the enemy, so that's going to hurt him a lot. And I'm also going to freeze... Yeah, I'm going to hit him and freeze him, just because, you know, he's not going to attack anymore, but it does damage. It whittles him down a little bit more. And I'm not as worried about this guy yet, but I'm hoping that I draw a polymorph card or something so I can get that guy out of the game as soon as possible. I suppose oh man, okay, so he's +4/+4 now. That's really scary. He'll get frozen, though, because I did damage to him, right? Yeah. So now I'm realizing that I definitely should have taken care of that guy as soon as possible. Okay, secret. When your opponent plays a minion, summon a copy of it. That seems really useful. So we're in a very not great situation right here. The way that I'm going to choose to deal with this for now is ignore it. So I'm going to use Mirror Entity, which could allow me to get another minion on the next turn, even though I'm not going to play one on this turn. And then I am going to use Frostbolt, and this will deal damage to this character, which will cause him to do more damage, but it's also going to freeze him in place. I feel like I'm making enormous misplays right now. But I'm really just biding my time until a Polymorph card shows up, or maybe a Fireball so I can kill him, or, you know, something that allows me to destroy this man. Otherwise, he's going to take off half of my health or more on this turn. It seems... I don't know if he built his deck consciously around this strategy, but... Oh! Cool, so I did summon my own minion here. So I wonder if the Summoning Sickness applies on my next turn. Because if it does, gives a minion Divine Shield. Oh, that's so fucking nuts. I can still get around that, it's just not easy. Battle Cry, silence a minion! Okay, how does silence work? Removes all card text and enchantments. That's actually incredibly useful right now. So I'm going to summon this. Battle Cry is silence a minion. Obviously, we're going to silence this guy right here. So now he's just a 2/5 creature. I'm not concerned about that at all. I don't know if there's anything to remove silence right now. So I am going to not... I do more damage than him right now, so my general philosophy is when I do more damage, I'm going to focus on dealing damage to the hero. And I still have this card that deals 1 damage to all enemy minions. And I'm still, like, pretty scared about how this run is going. But the fact that I've gotten rid of that creature more or less feels really, really good. I hope he stays silenced forever, not just 1 turn. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. Whenever you play a card, summon a 2/1 Flame of Azeroth. That's frightening. He could get a lot of minions on the field here. Oh, what is this card going to do? Gives a friendly minion +2 attack this turn. Yeah, okay. That makes sense, and he's going to wipe this guy out, which is almost going to kill him. I can just use my Fireball to kill this guy next turn. Oh, Jesus. He used his 8 damage card to wipe out my creature, which is honestly... Does he have a battle cry? No, oh, okay. This is a weird one. I think one obvious one, we should deal damage to all enemy minions. Just trying to think. This guy's going to do 7 damage. 5. They're going to do 12 damage on this turn. Fuck me. Then I'm going to summon a... I'm going to do the battle cry to get an extra card, because I really need card generation right now. After you summon a minion, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. And then I'm going to use this Dire Wolf that I'm just going to throw out here so that it gives this guy +1 attack. And this is going to be a bare-knuckle brawl down to the end. The game probably has a total of 2 more turns left in it. I could easily see myself losing this one. But even like 1 Fireball card draw could be enough to do some really amazing stuff. The fact that that taunt exists is horrifying. That's going to cause a lot of problems for me because I have to take out that character. And he's got a lot of minions now. So yeah, on the next turn, I'm definitely going to die unless I can kill him on this turn. And I think that's probably going to do it. I'm probably just going to lose here. So I can use all of my cards here. It's probably borderline essential. So I played my Knife Juggler first because every time I summon another minion, then it'll do +1 damage to an enemy. A random enemy, so I might as well summon the Injured Blade Master and see who this Knife Juggler chooses to hit. Okay, he wiped out that guy. There's no way for us. We can't even take out the taunted creature right now, honestly. So, I don't know. I guess we just say well played here, and we must attack the minion with taunts. Might as well, I guess. Can't even wipe him out. We can return a minion to our hand who's been hurt, I guess. Why not this guy right here? So we're gonna lose on this turn. Misplay on my part, but still a fun match nonetheless, and he definitely came through in the clutch here. If he plays more minions, I could possibly get extraordinarily lucky and kill him just with Knife Juggler, but the odds are like 1%, because he's just about to kill me. Again, well played, Wedge Pyatt. That was an excellent game. You surprised me, and maybe I underestimated you a little bit. I did level up, though. So that's cool. As always, thanks for watching the first episode of a new series, everybody. This is, again, my misadventures in Hearthstone. If I'm bad at the game, I would love you to leave a civil and constructive comment telling me, you know, what kind of strategies I should look for, what kind of, especially when it comes to, like, building my deck and also, of course, playing the cards. Would love to learn more, because there's not that many resources right now for this, apart from other YouTube videos. I hope you enjoyed the Let's Look At of the game. As this is the first episode of a new series, if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving your support in the form of a like. In any case, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Hearthstone or other various gameplay commentaries and whatnot. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.